All right, Scrafton Massive, I think this is the very last round 1 match to be casted. I have casted Zathel versus Pip. That was awkward. Many of you were there at the time. I will post that. I did upload it from Bose, so it is on the tube. I just need to make the videos live. So let's introduce the players. It's Eli shaken in the top left of Cosmic, and it's Anxer also shaken in the bottom right. Anxer is scouting look of sorts with the classic Zerg Overlord Scout. This is gas first. You don't often do that. It's normally hatch gas pull, but you know, I'll forgive it as long as the pull appears pretty sharpish. He has got money for a pull. He just isn't building one. Nobody knows why. Eli, meanwhile, has got the side core done, and Anxer still with no pull is going to be in trouble if Eli comes across the map, because spawn and pull is going to take a while to finish up, but it is now building and he should be okay. Cosmic Sapphire is not the smallest map. It takes a little while to walk across here. So Overlord's going to come in and is going to see the timing on this, and when you see that Nexus so far through, you pretty much know there isn't something weird about to happen. There isn't kind of a really cheesy rush about to hit me, because they've built a reasonably on-time expo. So Eli just going about his business, still building workers, love to see it, is getting a stalker out, is going to be researching charge. Meanwhile, on the... Hello, Lola. I've got a cat just like rubbing its face against me in that sort of cat sort of way. Give me strokes, give me strokes. And yeah, Anxer light on units, it's got to be said. He's got something in production. What has he got? No, he's got 2 queens, and that's it right now. So could find himself in trouble if he's not careful. But with that said, Eli has only got the 1 gateway, 2 more coming down now, so he will be able to start ramping up his production. Did the cat just fall off?
Sure.
He will start ramping that up, because he's going to find it's going to be a struggle to spend his minerals otherwise, although not actually saturated in the men notice, but this is pretty well saturated, so he's going to have a fair old income. There's a Dark Shrine in production, and that could really tip this game over, because I don't think... Oh, Anxer has got a lair, so he will be okay. If you've got a lair, you can turn Overlords into Overseers, of course, and Overseers will reveal those DTs. What is worrying me, though, is that Eli is ahead in expands. As a Zerg, you should always aim to be 1 base ahead of your opponent. You should always have, if they're on 3 base, you're on 4, etc. Not you're on 2 while they're on 3. That is not good at all. So much faster expoing needed for our Zerg player. Surely this Dark Shrine's finished. It is. Are there DTs on the map? There are. It looks like maybe Eli's going to move out together with the DTs, which, I mean, all right. In general, the whole thing with DTs is they can't be seen, and the longer you wait, the greater the chances are that your opponent will have some detection. So in general, if you're going to use DTs, you want to get them out nice and sharpish. You want to get them in your opponent's base before they've got that detection. As it turns out, Anxer actually doesn't have any detection. So the DTs are going to work. I don't see any Overlords morphing. I don't see any spores being built. And those are the 2 methods by which Zerg can detect things. Spore crawlers, turn a drone into a spore crawler, or turn an Overlord into an Overseer. Anxer may not be aware of that, and as a result has got the Overseer out. So he is aware of that. But it was a pretty slow reaction, and he did lose some stuff. There is still a DT here, look, just hacking stuff up. This guy's got 23 kills. Oh, good God, no. Right, so that hurts. In the units lost tab, 41 Zerg units have been lost. Let's have a quick peek. 14 of those workers. So Anxer, you know, you need to replace the stuff that's lost. Look, these larvae are doing nothing, and you've got all the money to spend. You can transfer workers here, some into gas, some across to these other bases to resume mining. But honestly, you know, it's not workers that you need, arguably, it's an army. And so you do need to be turning the larvae into stuff. You do need to be on the production. 12 workers coming in for Anxer. Are there any upgrades? There is Ling speed, but he is currently building Hydras. He's got some Ravagers on the map, which is great, but this Protoss army, you know, that's pretty punchy. That is quite a few Stalkers, and those Stalkers, he hasn't got Blink though, has he? He has got Charge, which is an interesting choice because there is only one Zealot. So you researched an upgrade for Zealots, but you've only built one Zealot. 4 gateways, cranking out Void Rays 4 at a time. It looks like Eli is just kind of accelerating ahead in terms of army production at present. And look, still, you know, idle larvae lying about doing nothing. You cannot have that as a Zerg. You just can't. There are currently, let's have a peek. Oh, I thought it showed you how many larvae you had, but oh, it does. Oh, thank you. Smile, you're on candid camera. I just had beer delivered while casting. Friday nights don't get much better than this. So Anxer, you need to build more units is what you need to do. You could do with getting some upgrades. The Hydra upgrades, the speed upgrade is typically the first one I would get. You need it. And the range upgrade. Those are both powerful upgrades for your units. There are a lot of Lings here, and Lings will trade very, very well against Stalkers, especially Stalkers that don't have Blink. Benling speed being researched, but where are the Benlings, please? There are none. So, you know, don't worry about Benling speed. What you need is Hydra upgrades. Roach speed, a very powerful upgrade as well. But, you know, there's a lot of Lings on this map. There are 68 Lings. And, you know, if they were here, slaying, I would love to see that. Love it, absolutely, but they're not. They're just parked here. So, you know, folks, we do need to start being active with our armies. We are getting to the point in the competition where most of the players, what is this? It's like a pylon forest. Where most of our players can manage to drum up an army. I mean, Eli currently on 198 supply, but you've got to do stuff with it. You're maxed out, Eli. You can't build more army. This is you've got as much army as you can get. So yeah, need to go and attack with it. Anxer, you just need to build stuff faster. Look, 6,500 minerals in the bank, and you're barely mining. You know, that is like you've got one base fully saturated and 3 bases that are only a third saturated. So, you know, somehow you've managed to save up 6.5 grand off of essentially a 2 base income. That is a clear sign that you're not using your larvae. This Protoss army is just going to walk through the Zerg, would be my suspicion. If the Lings could get on top of the Stalkers and get a full surround, they might trade fairly well. The Ravagers haven't fired a single corrosive bile. There go the first ones, and they do actually connect with the Void Rays, which is great, but there just isn't enough left here. It was just too much Protoss. A 200 supply Protoss army, to be fair, will walk through most things pretty handily, even if it is very Stalker heavy. By the way, Stalkers are great units, but you know, once you're at the 200 supply mark, you probably want to branch out into things that pack more of a punch. I mean, you can just do a Stalker build and that's fine, but if you're going to do that, research Blink, not Charge. Anyway, yeah, it looks like this is going to be the end of this game. That is surely going to be the GG. There is no way Anxer can build anything fast enough to cope with this army. And yeah, so game 1 goes to Eli. GG.